Hey everyone, Kelly here, and today I have a book haul. And I know I just filmed one of these last month. I'll link it down below in case you want to see it. And I had said in there that I wasn't going to be buying more books until I read some of those. So basically what happened, a few weeks before my birthday, I was contacted by Krista from Books and Jams, and she was saying that the ladies that do middle grade March, so that's Krista and Amanda from On the Middle Shelf and Katie from Life Between Words, that they were all going to be meeting up in Minneapolis. And since I live in Minnesota, they wanted to know if I wanted to meet them. And also Becca from Becca Books and Buju was there. And we were all gonna get together and do a little book shop hop. And there would be some other subscribers and stuff meeting too. And of course, I wanted to do this. And since it just happened to be on my birthday, I was like, I have to buy a book in each store because, I want to support local indie bookstores and it's my birthday, so I have an excuse. So I ended up getting several books. I did pretty well though. I didn't buy that many, but then also a couple of people bought some books for me for my birthday, and then I got some books for free because we did kind of a book swap. So not all of these were purchased. I'm gonna tell you which bookstores they came from too. So if you live in the Minneapolis area and want to come, there were some really great bookstores. And it was just so much fun to meet all these ladies in person. I've known them for years online, and it's just so weird that we've talked, we've texted, messaged on Instagram or done reading sprints together, and it was just so much fun to meet them all in person. And it was a great day. It was a great birthday. And I would love to go back to Minneapolis and go to some of these bookstores again because they were really great. So the very first bookstore I went to was Inkwell. And there I got one book. I got The Raven Scholar by Antonio Hodgson. And this is a new fantasy book. I think it's the beginning of a series. And I don't even really know much about what this is about, but I heard recently, I think it was Beautifully Bookish Bethany reviewing this one. I think that was the person I listened to the review, and it sounded really good. And it's just a pretty shiny cover. And I have a weird thing about books or covers that feature corvids. So crows, ravens, magpies. So yeah, with this cover, I just had to get it. But I think is it kind of dark academia fantasy? It says The Raven Scholar is a masterfully woven tale of imperial intrigue. It says epic fantasy, so yeah. I'm excited to try it out. I don't know exactly what it is, but that was from Inkwell. And then we went over to Majors and Quinn, which was a huge used bookstore. And I was tempted by a lot of things, but I only got 2 books there. And there I got Moonflower Murders by Anthony Horowitz, because it's the sequel to, what was the first one called? Magpie Murders. There's another connection with those type of birds. And I really liked Magpie Murders. So I knew at some point I wanted to get book 2. So I picked it up there. And I was continuing the getting books in a series type of thing. And I got Bitter by Akweke Emezi. And this is the prequel to Pet. And I've been thinking about buying this for a long time. But I have Pet in hardcover, and I didn't want to pay full hardcover price. So at the used bookstore, I was able to get it at more of a decent price for me. I think Pet's on my shelf right there. And then the next bookstore I went to was called Tropes and Trifles, which was a romance bookstore. And I had a huge stack of books in my hands, and I put some back, and then Krista and Amanda kindly bought 2 of the books on my stack. They each bought me one for my birthday. So I ended up with 3 books from this bookstore. And the 2 of them are from the same series. This is The Duke Who Didn't by Courtney Milan, and The Marquess, is that how you say that? Who Mustn't. I had read one of her other romance series, the Brother Sinister series is what it's called. And I really love those books. They're, historical romance, but I really enjoy how Courtney Milan gives her women more agency. And her heroes are never really jerks, I always enjoy them because I'm pretty picky with historical romance because there can be a lot of weird power dynamics because of the time period. So I really enjoyed that series, and I've been wanting to pick these up, but she most of her books are self-published, and so they're not usually in bookstores. I usually have to get them from Amazon. I don't really want to buy from Amazon. And so they had these in the store. So I bought one and Krista bought one for me. So that was really exciting. And then Amanda had recommended this one, and so she ended up buying it for me. This is 4 Weddings and a Funeral by Ellie Palmer. And this is about, I think it's a woman, she goes to her ex-boyfriend's funeral and finds out that nobody knows that they were broken up. So they think that they were still going out when this man had died. And I think that she is then tasked to like pack up his apartment. And I think that she starts to connect with his best friend or something like that. So I think there'll be themes of grief, but then, you know, what is in here? Oh, I don't know if this is art from the characters. So that was just like in the book, so that's fun. So yeah, and this is also a Minnesota author, so that was why Amanda was recommending it to like another local author, which I'm trying to remember if I got something else from a local author. I don't think this time, but we were looking at a lot of the like books they had there that were from local authors. And the last bookstore we went to was called Red Balloon, and it was mostly children's books. They had some adult, but a lot of children. Spokes and I had gotten a book for each of my kids, which I didn't bring them to show you because they've been reading them. For my youngest daughter, I got her a graphic novel that's called Splash and Pablo, or Pablo and Splash. They're like 2 little penguins. And then for my older daughter, I got The First and the Keeper of the Lost Cities, the graphic novel version. She really wants to read that series, but she wants them an audiobook, and they're Audible exclusives. So I was like, if I'm going to pay that much money for audiobooks, I wanted to make sure she's actually gonna like the series. So I thought if I got the first book in graphic novel form, she could read it, see if she likes the characters in the story before I pay that much money for the audiobooks. So now we're just like, need to wait, because I don't have an Audible account, so I have to like see if there's like a deal of like a sign up deal where I can get several books, because you know that's like 9 books or something like that I would have to get on Audible. But anyways, so I got those 2 books for them, and then I got this for me, but I also want to read it with them because we have read pretty much all of Grace Lynn's middle grade fantasy books together, and I didn't realize she had a new one coming out this year. So this had just come out a couple weeks ago. This is The Gate, the Girl, and the Dragon, and it is just beautiful. It's got sprayed edges. Oh, this has a little card in here as well. I guess that's signed by Grace Lynn, and the front cover is beautiful. So yeah, it was just calling my name when I saw it there because I just didn't realize she had a new book. And I had read with Bernadette, my oldest daughter, during homeschool. We had read Where the Mountain Meets the Moon and When the Sea Turned to Silver. You know, like, I don't remember all those, but there's like 3 of them that were all like Chinese folklore fantasy books, and here's another one. So I think we'll try to read it all together because now my youngest is at the same age that Bernadette was when I was reading these with her. So I think that would be special if we could read it all together. And so those were the only ones I went to with those ladies. We also like got to hang out and play some games, went out to lunch, did all kinds of stuff. So it was a really great weekend. But then like on my way back, the next day I went by Half Price Books. I have a video, probably you would have seen like a week or so ago if you watched it, or I can link it down below, where I had brought a bunch of books with me to take to Half Price Books. And the only book I bought there, I didn't mention in that video, but in case you didn't watch it and want to know, I got One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. And this was actually recommended to me by one of the people I met on that trip to Minneapolis. She was one of the subscribers of the Middle Grade March ladies, and she had recommended this book because I said I wanted to try some romantasy books, but I was very picky about romance and like the type of heroes that I like in my romance. And so she recommended this one, so I did get it at Half Price Books. And then that was the last of the like bookstores, but like I said, we did some book exchange, so I got some free books and some books that the ladies had also just given me. So when I was hanging out with Krista and Amanda and Katie, they had gotten this book from a mystery thing, like a mystery book thing from a library, and I have books up until 8, and this is 8.5, so they said I could take it home. So now I have Keeper of the Lost Cities, books 8.5. I do own all these, so you would think that my daughter could just read the paper version, but she just prefers audiobook. I just do not think that she will read this many these are all huge. I just don't think she'll read them all in paper. She said she might try, I'll see, before I do audiobooks, but I doubt she's gonna read that many in paper. And the other one that they gave me was they had The Small and the Mighty by Sherry Gann, which I have been meaning to get this book. She's also a, Minnesota writer. Well, not just writer. She's, she has like a big Instagram following. She's like everyone's government teacher is what like she kind of is called. So I have been meaning to buy this book and I hadn't gotten around to it. And I think it was Katie had brought it for the exchange, but then forgot to bring it to the exchange. So she was like, go ahead and take it. And then the books I got in that book swap, I had brought some books to trade off, and I picked up Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney, which is a thriller. I have read one book by Alice Feeney. I think I read Rock, Paper, Scissors, and I thought it was entertaining but kind of ridiculous. So I'm gonna give her one more chance and just see, because I think that might just be her vibe, is kind of like entertaining thrillers but that go off the deep end. So I'll see, since it was free, if I like this one. If not, I probably will be done with Alice Feeney. And then I got Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Q. Sutano, and I've just heard good things about this. This is kind of like cozy murder mystery, but with like an older main character. And I've just heard good things and wanted to give it a try. And this one, Krista was like, you should take that one home, you'll like it. It's a historical fiction, The Lost Girls of Willowbrook by Ellen Marie Wiseman. And I remember seeing her review this, and I think some other ladies I had seen review this as well on BookTube. And I think does it take place in a insane asylum, or is it a state school, a school? It might be a school, I don't know, but something like bad happens in some type of facility, I believe. So that is the last one I got for free. And then I'm just gonna mention a couple books that I purchased after that. One was because it's a sequel. So I got Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo because I just finished Six of Crows. Like, it's there in my need to wrap up at the end of May. Like, this is my stack of books I read in May. And I just finished Six of Crows and immediately bought book 2. So I think I'm going to actually read this one in June. So I went ahead and bought it right away. And then I also bought The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle Jensen because somebody had recommended this to me. And I thought after I got this book that maybe I would do a vlog where I try some popular romantasy that I think I would like and just see. So I don't want to just do any popular romantasy because there's some I'm just not interested in. Like, I just don't think I'm going to be a Sarah J. Maas fan. I've read some of her books and I just didn't love them. And there's a few others that I just don't have any like interest in at all. But this one kind of interests me because it's like gothic, and this one was interesting to me when I had read the description. And also I have like an in real life person, this is very shiny, an in real life friend that recommended this when I said I wanted it, because she reads a ton of romantasy, and I asked her, I kind of told her my stipulations of like what I don't like about a lot of, like what I potentially don't like about a lot of romantasy. And she was like, well, maybe you should try this one. And so that's why I picked it up. And then I have one more coming in the mail on Tuesday, but I don't want to like wait because I probably won't buy any books anytime real soon, hopefully. So I'll just show you a picture of what's coming in the mail. I finally decided to sign up for Book of the Month. I just have never thought I wanted to do it. But then I was like, well, you know, the commitment I think was only 3 months and then I could cancel it. So I was like, well, I can try out for 3 months and just see. And they had Silver Elite by Danny Francis, I think is what the name is. And this one is a new romantasy that's supposed to be like the new big thing, but it's also like a dystopian. So I thought that I might have interest in that. I really don't know. I could hate it, but it's okay because actually the first month, the Book of the Month, I think you get your book for $5. So I only paid $5 for it if I hate it. So I thought I would do a vlog where I take Silver Elite and these two and just see if I like romantasy. And then if I like those, then maybe I can like venture more into the genre and just be really picky about what I pick up and not just pick up the most popular ones, because I just do not think I'm gonna like some of the most popular. Like, I just don't think I'll like Fourth Wing. Like, sorry, I know a lot of people love it, but every time I hear about it, I just am not interested in it. Probably because it's like military type of thing. And I've watched some like spoiler reviews and just am not interested at all. So I'll dip my toes in romantasy and see what I like in the genre. And that is it for me. Let me know if you've read any of these books, if you've been into any of these bookstores, and I will see you next time. Bye.